Hello, how's it going, everybody? The mic is not muted, so there's a win for that. For however many times that's happened in the past. We are back. We missed last week. Sorry, I had some family in town, was not able to do anything, so we were taking the week off, but we are back for episode 33 this week. This is Trials of Imagination. If you are new here, we are a group that just likes to get together, play Dungeons and Dragons, and have a good fun time. We're currently going through the module known as Curse of Strahd. It is a gothic horror style campaign. It's really fun, really dark and gritty. So if you like that type of material, it's really good. The one we're doing is pretty heavily homebrewed. So whether you are new to Curse of Strahd or whether you are a veteran of Curse of Strahd, there will be something for both of those types of people. So stick around. We'll have a good time. Some quick announcements to cover some things. So we have terrible weather happening where I'm at right now, and my power was already out earlier today. It's been back on for an hour and a half now, steady, so hopefully it'll stay that way. But if for whatever reason this just suddenly stops, there you go. I lost power and there's nothing I can do about it. So just to go ahead and throw that out there now, and we'll handle that accordingly if it does happen that way. Hopefully if it does happen, it's later in the stream rather than earlier. But we'll see how it goes.
Welcome to spring in the South, baby.
Yep. Richard knows, because Richard doesn't live that far away from me, so he's experiencing the same thing. Hopefully his power stays on too. So we're both kind of rolling dice, literally and metaphorically, tonight to see if our power stays on. So, a few announcements before we dive into tonight's stream. We have a one-shot coming up that is a special one that will be focused around Beck's character, aka Elbrith. It was initially planned for next week, but we had some schedule stuff come up, so I think we're going to rework that. So tentatively go ahead and presume that next week might just be back to standard TOI episodes. I'll have some more updates with that throughout the week in Discord when we get a official plan in motion. But I think we're going to rework it to where we can do it to where everybody is good and it works with everyone's schedule. So it was tentatively next week. I think we're going to shift that around to where instead it'll just be episode 34 for TOI next week, and we'll do the one shot maybe the week after or sometime in April. We'll see. So there's that. We have a few things if you're new and don't know about it, or if you've been here a while, sometimes you just miss the beginning and may not know about it. So we have a podcast to where you can do !podcast in the chat. It'll take you to Spotify and you can listen to any of the episodes in an audio format. So if you miss it here and you can't really do YouTube in the back, but you want to be able to listen to an episode, they're on Spotify. And then occasionally me and SJ have a recorded episodes where we talk about nerd stuff, whether it be Dungeons and Dragons or just any sort of nerd stuff in general. And we'll throw some of those episodes up. And then we also have some special episodes for the Patreon, which you can also do Patreon in the chat, that are only found on the Patreon, nowhere else. So we have a podcast dedicated specifically to that, mostly where we kind of hone in and do recaps of the previous episodes and to get into like deeper lore territory and answer questions about stuff for our lovely Patreon supporters. There's also a plethora of other things on the Patreon you can find if you want to support us. That's the best way to do it directly. Also, you can sub on Twitch or donate or do whatever you want to. We appreciate in any format you do. But if you do it on Patreon, that is at least a way we can give back to you a little more directly as opposed to just emotes and stuff like that. Although it's worth noting, we try to do giveaways here all the time for people who are subs or for people who do any form of constant interaction here. So that's something we try to do very regularly to give back to the community that constantly shows up here because we appreciate all of you. I know we have a merch store. So if you do !merch, it will take you to that. That's a lot of times what we do on giveaway. I know right now, Mr. Dirk Manjaw in chat has a shirt that we need to get him. So he'll get a free shirt. I think he wanted the Omen shirt, if I'm not mistaken, that we'll be getting him sometime soon. So that's another thing that most of the time the giveaways come from is we pick something from the merch store, or if you don't want anything, we try to rework it and get you something fun either way. But there's a lot of stuff you can look at there that's fun and inside jokes about different episodes that are funny moments or serious moments or whatever it is along the way. We just keep adding more stuff. And yes, there are coffee mugs, I believe. And maybe Chad is saying we need more mugs, so maybe we'll look into that at some point. But there is that available. In terms of what we already talked about, the one shot, we got merch and everything. On Sundays right now, this is a little bit of a dive around, but we are currently doing I'm doing a collaboration with a group that is developing a online board game, if you want to put it into simple terms, to where it's like a kind of like what we do here, except it's based in the Fallout universe. So if you're familiar with the Fallout video game, it's based into that territory. And we're doing that on Sunday afternoons. It's a little mini campaign, so it's not going to be very long. It's only going to be about, I think he said, anywhere from 5 to 10 episodes, and we're coming up on episode 3. So we're pretty close to halfway through it, I would think, if not further. Maybe. It depends on what we do. But we're having a lot of fun with it. It's me. You may know Stormer. He's in chat. There's my buddy Jay that comes on the stream all the time, and then one of their employees, or whatever you would refer to them as. The 4 of us get together on the Sunday and play that, and it's been pretty fun. It's different. It's a completely different atmosphere than what we've been doing here in D&D, so it's fun to have a little change of pace and to experience that. But that's on Sundays, so this upcoming Sunday, that can be another thing we're doing there. And that is all I can think of at the moment. We are working on some stuff behind the scenes, as we always are, but more details to come when we have more headway into that territory. SJ, did I miss anything, or does that sound like everything?
That sounds like everything to me.
Okay. Disclaimer, so both Josiah and Liam will be out tonight, which is the characters Nadar and Mark. So Josiah's with some friends and enjoying a movie, having some time off. And then Liam, unfortunately, I think not only did his internet go out, I believe he said his computer died. Hopefully not in a unfixable way, because that would really suck. But he's going to be out tonight. So both of those guys will be out, but the rest of the 4 will carry on. Conveniently, it works in the story sense because those 2 characters happen to both be asleep at the tavern right now. So kind of convenient how that worked out. But just a quick disclaimer, those 2 will be out tonight. So if you see their tokens up there, that's why. They didn't die off screen or anything like that. Their characters are still fine. They're just asleep. And they'll pick back up next week or whenever you go back up. And Chad is subbing. What are we going to do with you guys? Dang it.
Why do you act like that's a bad thing? You're like,
It's just so, it's so horrible.
They're subbing again.
It's so horrible. My gosh.
Oh no.
Just
gonna make it into a into a thing. Oh
Dang
no,
it.
there's more subs. Look
Dang
out.
it, Dirk.
You're gonna cause
Not to be
our
outdone.
DM to have depression.
I'm going to accost chat, and yet they somehow just keep doing it. Because they're a bunch
Oh no,
of
look, they're gonna start a boost train now.
they're a bunch of
Boost
masochists.
train
guys,
is
I
a
really
new thing, guys.
This,
Yeah.
even though 2-Bit hates it so much, we really appreciate your support.
No, I can speak for all of us. We don't appreciate any of it whatsoever. No, obviously we appreciate all of you, but we will give you a hard time.
Like if we didn't appreciate it, we wouldn't put so much work into all the extra stuff that we do, like the stuff that we put on Patreon and
Facts.
all
Facts.
like 2-Bit said, we're always working on new things in the background.
Mhm.
So
Always.
You know what they say, words speak louder than actions. Wait.
mhm.
They do be saying that. Okay, well, that's enough announcements for tonight. I think it's time to go ahead and hop into episode 33. So sit back, relax, and let's get into episode 33 of Trials of Imagination as we play through Curse of Strahd. Look at that. The cameras are on the right spot. Ha ha. Yeah. Yeah, I like when that works out.
Dude,
Boost
feel like I'm a little to
train
the left.
is here. Okay. Thanks,
Woo.
chat. We were kind of talking about this during the cinematic. I don't really know what a boost train is. I think we figured it out. But thank you guys for being crazy. as you always are. You bunch of just insane people.
I don't know why I thought you were going to say you bunch of pansies.
You bunch.
You bunch of pansies. No. Okay. So last time, 2 weeks ago, on Trials of Imagination, our group found themselves split up because we had Nadar and Mark at the tavern, which were kind of experiencing their own little side tangents a little bit, and the rest of the group heading to the church, where they ran into Zeke along the way, had an altercation there to where something got activated within Millard that made him very different and almost not even acting like himself, and borderline attacking the rest of the
Happy and personable and super friendly.
pure joy flowers. He was just handing out candy canes. We don't know where he got them from.
He loved
then-
water.
But then it turned out the candy canes were daggers, and then he just started poking people. So it was all a facade. But it all worked out in the end to where nothing bad happened to anybody. We didn't have to do too much PvP, thankfully. So they took Millard as well as an injured Lutheran, which is I was carrying, to the local church to try and figure out what the heck is going on, and had a little bit of a creepy exorcist vibe moment to a certain extent, to where some sort of strange banshee noise came out of Millard and all the candles in the church blew out and a bunch of strange things happened. And when Zao touched Millard, he actually had a vision of sorts, which was kind of seeing things that were hard to understand at first, but became a little transparent, at least to the viewers and maybe the players as it went on, that it was kind of seeing things from Millard's point of view as he went through different stages of his life in the first person view. And saw, I don't want to backtrack and say that. So if you did miss that, it was a really cool episode, worth going back and watching. And throughout that, we had a lot of good conversations with different characters one-on-one, including Millard and Elbreth talking to each other, as well as Zyle and Ayla talking to each other. And then Nadar had a dream sequence to where he finally remembered the person that he saw at the end of his dream where his town was destroyed. And there was a hooded figure standing in front of them. And although Nadar does not know who it is, because he has not run into Zeke before, the rest of the viewers and the players know that it is Zeke that was in Nadar's dream, or at least his memory, I guess you could say, because it is a dream, but it's from a memory. And Zeke was at Nadar's home when it was desecrated. And that is where we left off with those two. With the rest of the group, we ended up eventually being outside the church where they're having some conversations, and Millard starting seeing some weird vision type of stuff of seeing things in the reality where other people were not, or vice versa. And he eventually saw what seemed to be at the front of the gate, which is nowhere near where they are, yet he was somehow seeing it, and saw what looked to be like a driverless carriage with some black skeletal horses pull up and stop, and the door opened itself, and some sort of ominous voice on the wind said, "I think it's time that we have a talk or come and chat." And that is where we left off last episode, but more importantly, where we pick up this episode. So the last thing that happened is Millard just kind of seeing that, just not sure what to make of it, but that's what you saw.
I start to walk towards it.
Okay. So you guys see Millard start to just walk away.
Where are you going?
I just keep walking.
Okay. He seems to be ignoring you, but he's walking just into the night, which doesn't seem. I mean, you guys are a pretty good, decent ways away from the gate right now, so it's hard to tell where he's walking from a character perspective.
Really, we're gonna have to get leashes for these people. And I'll follow him.
I look at Zyle.
I'm also going to follow.
Okay.
Well, I guess this train is leaving the station. And then I follow.
Okay.
As I get closer, do I see anything distinctive that would stick out about this person?
The person?
That got out of the carriage.
No one got out
Yeah.
of the carriage.
No, or right, but about this, there's obviously a person if there's a voice. So, like, as I approach the scene,
So you have a ways to go before we get there.
okay.
Because that's all the way back at the side of the front side of the gate, and you guys are in the middle of the town at the church right now. But
But I'm still able to hear it, and
Mhm.
okay, and see it, or like
Mhm.
I see the carriage. Okay,
Yeah, but only you. No one else did.
okay.
You
So he,
saw
like,
it.
sees it in his mind's eye type of thing.
He saw it as if
I
it was.
see it.
Yeah, as
It's
if it was
there.
right there. Right.
Okay.
It'll be a little strange, but kind of like an unnoticeable strange, because in Millard's perspective, he's going to be walking to this thing that looks like it's right there, but it's not getting closer as quick as something would. But the
Okay,
rest of
so it
good.
so it is like there's something odd about it,
Yes,
right? Or ethereal.
for sure. For sure. I need both Millard and Zyle to roll a sanity check, or in this case, Arcana.
Yay, it's not me.
Da-da-da-da-da. Roll dice, roll. That's a thing. It's a 11. Is that good enough?
See? Mr. Richard?
Just a second.
Mm-hmm.
He's thinking about how insane he wants
Letting
to.
people know that I'm alive that are asking.
That's fair. There's quite a bit of...
All right. So yeah, and there's another line coming too. But anyway, so
Right.
what was the...
Sanity check.
Oh, yeah, that's a wisdom...
Arcana.
Int.
Not a save, a check.
Oh. 4.
It'd be better if it was safe. Maybe.
Okay. Ooh, so,
That's not good.
no, it's not. Millard, you keep pressing on. It is a continuous state of a little odd nature because the thing you're looking at seems like it should be getting closer, and it kind of is, but at a very slow pace.
Okay.
But nothing strange happens.
You mean besides a carriage?
Besides
Okay.
the just mass amount of strange things in front of you, nothing extra strange happens. But Zyle, you are going to start seeing what appears to be the ground itself is going to no longer look stable. It's going to start kind of rippling almost like water, even though you guys are walking on stone.
Is this something I've seen before?
Roll a history check. We'll leave it up to the dice.
16.
Hmm. You have not seen this before, but in the material that you have read in your past, you are connecting some dots between what you experienced at the church versus what you're experiencing now as a likely side effect. So you're cognizant enough right now to be aware that what you're experiencing might not be true or real, but it doesn't make it any less real visibly.
Okay. Well, with that knowledge, he would try and play it off as best he could, like nothing was happening for an outside observer. I don't know if you want me to make a check for that or not, but that's what he would attempt to do.
What would someone check to make them basically walk with drunk goggles? This is essentially.
Dexterity.
I'm fine. What would that be? We won't do it.
To go drunk. I'm home.
That's a Constitution check, Matt.
Yeah, that seems fitting. We won't do it yet, but
Just a-
we're gonna hold that and save that little nugget for when it might be fun. So you're not gonna mention it at all. You're just gonna experience it.
he's
Like
just gonna kind of try and
Oh,
push
I wanted
through.
to see if Ayla would notice.
not yet.
Okay.
We'll see.
You mean you're not focused on Millard mysteriously walking?
No. She's still
Okay.
She's used
annoyed
to
and
that.
tired about everything that's been going on because she hasn't really rested.
I'm gonna start to run forward now instead of walk. So we're going to get it up to like kind of jog.
Sure.
Does that get me any closer?
It's certainly gonna be getting closer. So you guys notice that Millard is starting to pick up the pace. How do you respond?
Well, I wanted to say before he said that, that Ayla's at the back. So she's kind of half paying attention to where they're going and then half just kind of looking around and taking everything in since it's all new to her.
Sure.
So.
I'll
Okay.
Match pace.
As will I, as best I can.
Now you make a constitution. Because now you're trying to run with drunk goggles on.
Just a con check. Just
Yeah.
a straight con check.
Yeah.
Come on, baby. Oh yeah, there we go. 21.
Dang it.
Yeah.
You must have, all your outings with Nadar have really prepped yourself for how to manage with this sort of ailment. So you managed to.
Flashes back.
Can I do an insight check and see if I can override that?
Nah.
Zal flashes back briefly while he's thinking about this and keeping steady feet. He briefly flashes back and thinks to a night at the tavern with Nadar when he plops down his mug and he says to the bartender, 2, no 3, I'm not driving.
Well done.
I thought
And
that
this-
was going to be a tough one, but
And you knew that would pay off one day. Like, one day this is going to be helpful to me to be experiencing this.
One of
Okay.
these days.
So you guys get closer and closer, and you're now to the point where the tavern is, for the rest of you, Millard won't see it because all he's seeing is this constant state of the front gate and the in his mind the gate is actually open and he can see the carriage on the other side of it. And he's just seeing that. The rest of you can see the tavern in the distance now. So you're getting close to where Mark and Nadar would be.
Are we going?
You're all still running.
How close do I think I am at this point?
You have seemed to cut the distance in half.
Yeah. So like in feet. What does that look like?
You would probably look like 50 yards away
Okay.
from the gate.
Guys,
From the carriage?
the tavern. The tavern is back that way.
No, no other voices are coming out, right?
Mm-mm. Just the one that in it. If I didn't say it enough the first time, but it sounded like a voice on the air, so like kind of like a ethereal voice.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Let me know when I'm at like the 30-yard mark.
Okay. So
In
you're-
reality or in your vision?
Let Millard know when he's at the 30-yard. Like when he thinks he's at the 30-yard mark.
fair enough.
It's very specific.
Elbereth will respond to Ayla. Yeah, I trust you if you want to go and grab someone from there, but I don't want to lose track of Millard.
Can't we just tackle him? He's probably in one of those like episodes again. You're closest.
Millard, roll another sanity check, as well as Zyle.
People
That would
keep attacking
be,
each other.
That's a 0.
It's fun.
Oh,
I'm
that's
prepared.
at 11.
It's not a 0.
Oh boy.
A 0.
Oh.
I mean, it's
You
technically a
you have
1.
bardic inspiration, guys.
No, I'm gonna go with the 1. I know I do have bardic
I want to
inspiration
see
from
how
last
this
time,
plays out.
but I really want to see what a 1 does.
Sure. All right.
Uh-huh.
So
Mhm.
it's begun to rain, and rather heavily at that. And the rest of you take note of this. For Millard, you do not see nor feel the rain. Yet what you begin to see is water starting to rise from the ground, as if flooding is occurring, but from nothingness. So it's steady, so it's not doing it quickly, but you can tell now as you're running that water has begun to rise and has gone above your ankles. And as far as your eye can see, so you don't see any place where it's not doing this. You're just seeing water elevate.
I'm gonna kind of fall down, not like gracefully at all, just kind of like to my knees, because I don't feel like I'm getting any closer.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna start shouting. Just,
What do you want from me? What is this? What's going on? What is this?
So all of you see this, so it's not separate from any form of reality.
That's what I've been asking. What is going on?
I'm just going to run up to where he fell
Mm-hmm.
and kind of try to help him up.
I'm gonna push him away.
Get off me. They want something. Elbereth, what is this?
I'm not sure.
What do they want?
Who are they?
The bleeding people in that freaking carriage. They keep whispering me in my head. What do they want?
And then I'm just gonna shout like straight ahead. Like,
What do you want?
Sure.
What do we need to talk about? What do you need from me? Come, I'll come.
I draw my dagger and I run straight forward, like full bolt as fast as I can.
I'll show you. If you're not gonna answer me proper, I'll answer you proper.
Sure. Worth noting, the water into your for Millard only is up to your knees now.
And I'm just pushing against it as hard as I can. Just like,
So the rest of you see what appears to be Millard, like doing this motion as if wading through water, kind of. Yet there is none, but it is raining.
Did anybody give him something? Cause he's a bit loopy now.
So I definitely saw Zyle saw the things you described in the church, right? Like he,
Mm-hmm.
and if I remember, gosh, I'm just hard to get back in my mindset from 2 weeks ago.
To make it easier for you, I think Zyle knows that something similar with what's going on with Zyle is
Yeah.
going on with Millard.
There are some greater powers at work here than I understand. And I think Millard and I are a little more connected than I ever really realized.
Are you hearing the voices too?
I'm not hearing the voices, right?
No.
But is the ground still wavy under my feet?
Yes.
I'm not hearing that, but I'm seeing my own things right now.
What are you talking about? Seeing your own things?
As he kind of looks down at the ground and shuffles to steady himself a little bit, even though he's not moving. I don't know what it is, but I think it's been here the whole time.
Are you steady?
I think so. I know the ground's not moving, but it looks like it's moving.
Well, that's not good. Do you want stuff?
Yeah, that might help actually. Thank you.
I give him the staff.
He just kind of plunks it against the ground to lean on.
An old man and his staff. Gotta respect it.
Sticky too.
Is the water still rising?
Stickaloo.
Water's still
Is
rising.
the water still rising? Yeah.
It's up to your chest now.
I look for a building that I can kind of climb up on.
You're close enough to the
You're
gate
not-
now where you have those two walls that kind of like come in where the rafters would kind of lead up to it, kind of how you guys did at the defense of the gate.
I start climbing to get it out of the water.
I'm gonna go catch up to Millard to make sure he doesn't do something stupid.
Oh.
And
All
I-
right. So
Yeah.
Whoa
This is
there,
the
whoa,
best thing.
whoa, come back down.
this is a bit delayed, but it's like a long run. But since you rolled a 1, so you're climbing this thing to get away from the water, and you hear this loud roar sound, and look up and see from the other side of the castle what is this huge wave coming over and just smokes you and takes you
Yeah.
tumbling back. And the rest of you actually see this occur. So Millard, climbing this, suddenly gets thrown backwards and is tumbling in the air in a very unnatural sense and
Can I
lands.
catch him?
He's going to land in a place where none of you are. But he
Did he
land-
like go over my head, or are you saying that was never
It's like
able to catch up with him?
I
because I thought I
jumped
was
over your
thinking-
head,
Yeah,
but
like,
Okay,
so he's
because I figured like once we started going, I've been like pacing with him the whole time. So.
Mhm. I mean, just think of like being at a beach if you've ever been where a large wave suddenly moves. It's a little hard to, in the moment, do it. And it was a very large wave, and he was climbing a rafter where you guys were still on the ground. So it just had a little bit of height above you,
Yeah.
but pushed
Well,
it.
because I mean, as soon as he started climbing, I grabbed him, so it'd be just like
Sure. So you can attempt to grab, but don't take purchase.
and then lose
Yeah.
grasp.
Sure.
Got it.
And he lands in kind of like the center of the area where the gate is ahead. And now, for Millard, the water is seemingly gone, but you do feel like you just got smoked by a wave and inhaled some water, so you're kind of just and you guys see him spit water out.
I know it's raining, but it's not that hard. I walk up to Millard. What was that?
Can't see it. It's a bleeding freaking wave.
Again, I know it is raining, but this is not raining that hard.
Why don't you believe me?
I mean, you have been seeing things, so I guess I believe that you saw a wave, but trust me, there is no wave, just rain. What else are you actually seeing?
Can I still see the carriage? Or is it gone?
Now that the water is receding, you look up and the gate is closed. So what you were seeing in your vision was it open the whole time and the carriage is on the other side, but right now the gate is closed.
I'm still gonna run to the gate.
If you're not gonna help me, Ayla, just leave.
I can't help you if I don't know what's going on.
So Millard takes a step towards the gate and pauses for a brief moment as he looks up, and in that section above the gate that comes across before the two big pillar-like structures, there's a hooded figure standing atop of it, staring directly at all of you.
Dude,
Millard, stop.
I notice his gaze.
You can all see it if you look.
Alright. Well, I noticed him look up and stop, so I look up.
Hmm?
Do I see the figure then?
Yeah,
Okay.
you would all see it if you look.
I glance, but I'm still more focused on trying to stop Millard.
Oh joy, a black hooded figure. Who would
What do
have
you
guessed?
want? What do you want from me? What do you want from us? Just leave me be.
The hooded figure kind of looks at you and then jumps down and lands on the ground in front of you. So he is between the gate and you guys now. Millard maybe about 15 feet in front of him.
I throw my dagger that I'm kind of still holding on to, but not like in any way like worthy of an attack. It's just kind of like I'm exhausted. And
Just
Sure.
leave me be. Let me go. Stop all
You-
this.
You throw it, and in your exhaustion, you don't throw it accurately, but it goes fairly close within the target and goes by, and the target does not move. It just
I
kind of
step in front of Millard at this point. I'm tired of these games. What do you want?
talking to the hooded figure.
Mm-hmm.
Zal and Elworth, what are you doing?
I'm trying to pull Miller back and be like, I think what they want is to torment you, and giving that, try to just focus on us and try to ignore them, and don't give them what they want. I believe you that you're seeing these things. I saw you, the effects of the wave, but we're here. Just focus on us.
And I'm
Okay.
gonna step up next to Ayla if I can. I don't know if I need to check again with the ground wobbling.
I'll allow that one.
Good. I will use the cane heavily, or the staff.
It's a cane, and his name is Michael. That's said and done.
It's
Said and done.
mine!
Okay, so you guys are kind of all gathering around Millard and facing this hooded figure, and it looks back for you, and I need everyone to roll. No, I'm just kidding. So it's going to look at you all and take the hood off. And in front of you,
It's Piplup.
Mr. Stormer, would you like to
Hands.
turn your camera on, please?
Oh dear.
What's up, y'all?
I was wondering where the dog went.
boy.
Is it a duck? Is it a duck in front of
Not
us?
a duck, no.
Is it a giant duck?
Got
oh my
any
goodness. It's
Hold on one second.
Mrs. Featherly. I don't know.
I'm gonna change
Smooth
it to.
McGroove here.
Is it a tangerine?
Let me change some stuff.
That's in the
real
chat.
quick. Change
Oh
it now.
no. The
Hold on,
camera.
hold on.
Oh,
Hold on.
It's me, but I
Mario.
look different.
There we go. Okay. You pull
There I am.
you pull the hood back, and Mr. Stormer, would you like to describe your character?
Yeah, so what you see is a middle-aged human with a peppered beard and a peppered hair, tanned, cracked skin with a large scar going from one side of his temple across his nose into the other cheek. Wearing leathers, well cared for but very worn. Long sword strapped to one side, crossbow strapped to the other, carrying a double-sided scimitar in one hand.
He's packing.
Mm-hmm.
He is
I
packing
like.
it.
And the last thing that
What?
they
Quietly impressed.
good.
What in the hells is going on?
I already asked you that.
She
I'm
did.
just standing up here, wondering what in the world is going on. This guy goes flying off the wall. He's throwing daggers at me. I should be asking you that question.
Wait. Are you from Barovia?
Yes, I live here.
Okay. Cool. Now, where were you when the undead were attacking the gate?
With everyone else asleep.
Okay. So, why did you come out here?
Rumors spread really fast in this town.
Everyone was
Especially-
asleep, so I don't buy that.
Trust me, I have ears with the guards. I'm what you might call a hunter.
All the guards were dead. Try again.
No, they're not dead. Pretty sure you pissed one off mighty fine.
Okay, I did do that.
He went to the tavern. Talked to a few of my buddies. I came out here to see what I could kill. And I see a bunch of dead guards, and this guy comes running up.
Yeah, he's been seeing things. I think
That
the Dark
explains a
Lord-
lot.
I think the Dark Lord or that other guy is playing with his mind. I don't know what he was after. I don't know what threw him off the wall. But hello.
Alright, so fine, the dude's seeing things.
Mhm.
Who are you people? Obviously you're not from here.
Correct. So, have you met other travelers who were brought into Barovia?
No, I have not personally.
Okay, but you've heard of it.
Yeah, it happens every so often.
Okay, so we, I guess, are the most recent playthings of the Dark Lord, I guess.
It's been a real fun time.
It has not. He is lying.
So, names. Points to Ayla. Says, you.
Yes, me.
Name.
I have one.
Fine. You. Points to Bex. Or, I'm sorry, Elbreth.
Kind of looks at Ayla and shakes her head. Elbreth.
Old man.
Old man works, but you can also call me Zyle.
What about the crazy one?
That's a fine name, sure.
That also works, but we call him Millard.
Millard.
That too.
And the sassy one.
I'm not going to speak out of turn for her.
That is probably best, as I look back and smile.
Fine. Be that way.
You can probably just
No,
keep calling her the
I
sassy
tell
one.
you my name. I am Ella. And that is all.
Name's Tanner. So,
You look Tanner.
thank you. So what exactly is going on? Why are you in Vallaki? And why is this person, what is he seeing exactly?
Well, I think he said something about the wave, so I believe that's what knocked him off of the wall. But I don't know why he ran over here. And why are we in Vallaki? We needed the money, and we were told someone might have some jobs for us here, so we came here. And then a bunch of stuff happened, and we did not get the money.
We
Right.
walked into town and it hit the fan, essentially. Real
Yeah.
good look for us, as you can imagine.
Did you do something to piss someone off? What happened? Like, I'm not understanding how you walking into town leads to a massacre of the city guard and this dude flying off a wall with an imaginary wave.
Well, then you're in good company because we don't understand it either.
Bird thing, a
There.
brother thing? No?
Wait,
Okay.
what about your brother?
Oh, yeah, and there's a psychopath on the loose.
Yes, the psychopath.
All right.
It all started right around the time we arrived. Little
We'll have to be
coincidental for
more
my taste.
You'll have to be more specific. There are lots of psychopaths in Vallaki.
Good to know.
This particular one murdered an entire guard corps. Alone.
Does this man have a name?
Zeke.
Wait, Zeke. One of the 7?
Did we know that now? Had we heard that?
You had a suspicion.
He was talking. I think Zaya was talking to him about like I know that you were crazy, but why are you working for him?
Yeah,
He
One
was
of his pawns, I think he called him or
So
something.
we didn't
like
know
that.
for sure he was
he,
one of the
he never
Not
answered
sure like how high
directly.
he was in the ranks.
Oh, so he is a 7.
Yeah, it's
Can
pretty
you tell
well
us
known.
which number of the 7 he is? Just so I can have a ranking here.
Sure, it's number 3.
Good to know. Okay.
What do you mean? He's one of the 7. They don't have
Right.
a ranking. Well, like they kind of have a ranking, but not
See,
like that.
well, I assume that number 1 is probably the strongest of them all, and then number 2 is the second, and so on and so forth, you know?
It's more like they have a leader, and then there's other like 6, and they all serve Strahd. It's
Okay.
a little bit complicated.
Do you
Do they
know
get-
other names?
Yes, I know 2. I know of Kenos, who I have a bit of a personal vendetta with.
Ooh.
And I know their leader, the Reaper.
Joy.
We don't know his name, but that's what he goes by.
So,
Do we know any name for the last one?
we know Omen.
Well, no, she wasn't the last one. It was some like.
Oh, yeah, he
Ephraim.
told us his name.
Ephraim.
Ephraim, yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
A frame.
Do you know if they
Big red
get?
skeleton.
Do you know if they get replaced? Because I thought maybe Ephraim, Omen, Samuel, and Zeke would be all of them because we were told that 3 of them were killed. Do you know if they get replaced?
Do I know if they get replaced?
I just answered it for you.
Cool.
The fun part.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if they die, there's always 7, no more, no less. So if they die, I assume they're getting replaced somehow. So that it? We're done here, or
Well, are you done?
I don't know. Are we?
Well,
Look, okay.
Do you want to talk out here in the
Let me
rain,
s-
or we could go back to the tavern and get a drink? Maybe something other than ale.
Good luck with that. Vlaki's known for its terrible ale.
Good to know.
Anyway,
So, tavern?
an inn might not be a bad idea. You all look like you've been sleeping with werewolves all night.
No. No, the sleeping has not happened, sadly. And I, glare at Millard.
So, tavern it is then.
Okay. Millard, don't kill him. He had nothing to do with the wave. Okay, then. Is he conscious?
I'm just gonna keep staring at Miller to see what happens.
We watch
If I start
anxiously.
dragging you by the arm, are you going to hurt me? Can I just throw you over my shoulder? Because I've kind of had enough of you running off. Okay, then.
You goes
I
to
pick him
tell
up
him.
and throw him over my shoulder.
I push her away.
Okay.
We do have something to do with this. The town, everything. Everything that's going on. Turn to
What do you
Zio.
mean?
Remember? Something's going on with those bones back at the church. And I know I'm not too good in with the graces of the priest. But we should investigate more.
You talking about the bones of St. Andrew?
Yeah, I am.
What about them?
They're not working right. At least not right as I figure.
That's concerning.
Something's
They've
going
kept
on.
Vallaki at least somewhat safe for the last 100 years.
That's when it started. Right, Zio? All this stuff going on. All messed with the bones. Then when we went back to the church, something was going on with me. Now something's going on with you. I don't like it.
Nor do
So,
I.
Point of
Was
clarity.
that-
Well, to be fair, you were also acting weird
Yeah.
earlier when we first got here, before you got as far as the church.
Point of clarity. You have started seeing odd things in Vallaki. You said Zeke was the one that killed those guards, so he was in the city.
In the city.
Yeah.
What?
Definitely him.
I
The
start
seven are
walking
n-
toward the tavern.
The seven are not supposed to be in the city. They. Okay. Where the seven are, I don't want to be. And you should feel the same way.
We don't want to be here at all, in Barovia, so this is nothing new.
Well, you're here now, so best just start killing some things and make the best of it. That's what I do.
It's more or less.
Was it Hendrik that told us that the bones weren't working?
Mhm.
Mathile?
That they
He kind
So
of.
they could
He
be.
didn't tell us. He mentioned it
it was a
in
theory of his.
passing.
Now, as far as the bones not working, that's more of a theory that Henrik said, but I don't know exactly what that means or how true it is. He would know
If-
better than I would, though.
If one of the seven was able to get in the city, the bones aren't working. They should not be able to get into Vallaki, along with a horde of other things. Strahd's been having to use agents to try to get in here for years. They've never been able to get past this area of effect that these bones have. So the fact that Zeke was able to get into Vallaki means that they're definitely not working.
Sounds like that's an issue that needs sorting out.
I agree. The last thing we need is for somebody like the Reaper to come in here. He is not somebody that you want to mess with.
And you can Let's see. Zyle, so he's talking to you, so just roll. Roll wisdom.
Just a wisdom check.
Mm-hmm. Just gonna handle it as
11?
like a
You and those
deduction.
11s today.
Yeah,
Holy
11.
I'm telling you, man.
That's good. It's not a crazy thing. So you're kind of tired, so it's not going to be like you're struggling to think critically in a deep sense because you're just tired and the ground's still warbling, so things are a little off. But amidst Tanner's words and just a few thoughts you can string together, one thing kind of crosses a little strange. Now thinking about it, of him clarifying that the bones can't be working if Zeke was able to be inside. Yet, you guys were at the gate with the presence of what seemed to be 2 members of the 7 outside, and they elected not to come in when they could have for the first time in a long time.
So having that thought, I will turn to Tanner and say, so if Zeke can roam freely and he's one of the 7, what stopped the other 2 from coming in?
There were 2 others here as well?
It was
Who?
Ephraim, and who was the other one?
You
Was
don't
out
know.
there? We don't know. That's what I thought. And one unknown.
You don't know, but you can say that they all bowed to it.
They all bowed to it, including an undead dragon.
So the Reaper was here.
Yeah, you missed a lot of fun.
This is not good. This is not good. You can kind of see him, like, his blood, you could clearly see, like, if you were to have a blood pressure monitor on him, that it has just spiked. Like, he looks extremely uncomfortable, and he went from a very relaxed position to very tense. His sword hand kind of pushes to the side and rests on the hilt of his sword, and he kind of grips his double scimitar a little bit tighter. This is not good. What did you people do?
We were just trying our damnedest to enjoy a festival. And the next thing we know, here we are in the mire. I appreciate your concern for the people of this town, but don't take that accusatory tone with me, son.
I mean, if you want to go all the way back, I think what we did was show ourselves to be heroes, and we were chosen back from our land to be brought here. They said something about, I forget, what did they say, testing?
We were greeted by the glorious Strahd himself. Didn't know it at the time, but apparently he likes to bring things in as playthings, we found out later. It's been a tumble down a hill ever since.
I think the fact is, mate, we've done a lot more than we required to do.
Maybe a little bit
I know
more
you're sitting
too.
here accusing my friends and accusing me of stuff we probably shouldn't have done. But the fact is, those bones weren't working before we got here. At least according to my knowledge.
Oh,
And
they were
according to
working
what Henrik said.
quite fine before you got here.
Look, mate,
For the past 100 years, they've been keeping the city safe. You show up, they stop working. Excuse me if I don't find that quite a bit suspicious.
these fine folks put their lives on the line defending that gate. And I point to the gate that we did defend.
Mhm.
And I'd say they did a bang-up job.
Well, what ended the assault?
I don't actually know. So
The
Fair.
Was it the Draco that's showing up, and then the Reaper, right?
What you now know is the Reaper, in certain terms, disintegrated the dragon and then made the statement that the blood of the innocent has been spilled twofold. We have all we need, and then they vanished.
I repeat that.
I'm sure the people of the city appreciate what you did at the gate, but don't get anything wrong here. I've spent my life killing those creatures and defending Barovia from their like. Forgive me if one act of desperation to save your own hides doesn't ingratiate me to your good graces. I have no idea if that was grammatically correct, but
I turned to Zyle.
Point made.
Look, we don't need this. We don't need this fella. We don't need this town. We can get out of here. Leave them to whatever fate they deserve.
oh, please. Leaving the city at this time of night, you wouldn't survive 5 minutes.
We've survived a couple weeks. I think one day is enough.
By
And then
yourself?
I'm gonna start walking towards the tavern.
I
I
agree with
assume
the
at
part
this
where
point
we
I'm
don't.
at the tavern.
Yeah, I
What is-
assumed we were walking there.
Oh, I thought y'all were standing around. I left.
No, I think we were all heading that way.
I think you were all
Yeah.
walking that way the entire time. So
Oh,
if
okay.
if you've been walking the whole time, then basically you can say you guys were around the point of where the well is. So it's pretty dang close. So Miller can just kind of pick up the pace to separate himself and go pretty close to the
The
tavern.
point is, I turned my back on him, and I'm not
Right.
paying attention to him.
For sure.
Listen, I can be a bit gruff sometimes, I get that. But if the seven are after you, you take my advice, hide
Just die.
as much as possible. That they're not somebody that you want to mess with.
I don't think there's someone you can hide from.
Yeah.
They certainly keep finding us.
Well, sucks for you, I guess.
Just walk away. Just walks away. Sucks to suck.
10 out of 10 empathy.
Put shades on. You hear the CSI music kick in. Yeah. Oh,
Well, I guess he gets it now. But I agree with Miller, not the part about leaving, about the part where we don't need his approval. I don't really care if he blames us for stuff. We know what
No.
we did and didn't do, and also what our goal is here. So
So Milled's right, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm hearing.
Miller would have reached the tavern door by now. So do you proceed in, or do you stay outside? Or take the headphones
Me or
off?
everyone?
I do not hear you at all.
I know.
I think what
see
he
that.
does, it sounds like if he stops at the door,
I'm gonna put this thing on.
He's putting
he
the
should have
shade
stopped
on.
at the door and put on his armor. Just standing there on the
Can you
doorstep,
hear us
taking his
now?
armor.
No.
Oh, dude. Okay, so Millard's at the tavern. Do you walk in?
Nope, I just stand there at the door.
He's standing at the door knocking.
I am the one who knocks.
So you can just see Miller just stand right up to the door, but doesn't enter.
Yeah, but he's grumpy.
Mhm.
Looks grumpy. Or perturbed.
I walk
You know
up
what?
to the door and go in.
I stay next to Millard.
Tanner's gonna walk up and grab Zyle's arm. A word.
He's going to look down at the hand on his arm. Look up.
Okay. So passive perception. We don't have to roll anything. You grabbing his arm, not intentionally looking for this, but as you do grab Zal's arm, you see some form of magical writing and incantation that's surrounding his arm in some sort of blue letters. And
Do I recognize it?
yes, but I will send it to you in Discord.
Does he still have the drunk goggles on?
Zyle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You still have my staff.
Just leaning into the old man trope. Ooh, secret message.
No, it feels special.
Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel.
This is
child
bubble wrap
awake.
cow.
And
So Tanner looks down at that glowy bit. He looks up. Now you and I really need to have a word. He just lets go.
Is he like wanting to lead him off somewhere, or?
No, so at first it seemed like he was like, okay, you and I need to have words, but now he's like, oh, let's talk.
Gotcha. Let's talk indeed.
okay, do you proceed into the tavern?
I'm gonna stay outside.
Okay. So,
I'll stay with Tanner then.
all right. So Ayla's gone inside. Ayla can notice that the tavern is pretty dead now because it's well into the.
Zeke
Oh.
killed more people?
Not literally dead. It's so.
It's only mostly dead.
It's only mostly dead.
Which means he's somewhat alive.
Mm,
Sorry.
yeah. So
Okay. The tavern's mostly empty.
mostly empty. You do see what is. There's a few people still in there, but it's way less than what it was earlier because it's really, really late, like borderline like 1 or 2 in the morning now. So it's well past the hours of what the majority of people would be drinking, and most people have gone to bed. But there are a few people that are still there. Your regulars that are just getting super turnt, and then a few people that might have the night shift, some, and they maybe have just gotten off or something, just going in for a drink. And you see Ismark and Irina kind of jointly talking to a variety of people in the tavern, and can, through just observing, notice that they're consoling people as the people have like a form of panic as words has reached their ears of what might be going on outside, and Ismark and Irina are just kind of putting them at ease.
Okay. Are they saying anything about us?
No. Not your names.
Okay. But like the newcomers or whatever,
They wouldn't refer to you like that. They would refer to you like we have friends here that are on the side of Valaki and are making sure that they do everything they can to keep you safe.
I go over to where they are.
Which one? Because they're in separate places.
Oh, they're separate. I go over to Irina.
Okay. And she kind of like turns her head to note that you're there, but just keeps her head ahead, talking to the person in front.
Yeah. She's standing.
Yes.
Is she standing next to an empty table?
She's standing to a person sitting at a table.
Okay. Is there an empty table in the vicinity of her?
Just, plenty.
Okay. I take the closest seat and put my head down on the table.
Okay. Are you trying to stay awake, or are you willingly allowing
I'm
yourself to
awake.
rest?
Like, I'm not trying to go to sleep. I'm just trying to take a breath.
Okay. So we'll leave that there. Outside, we had Millard and Elbreth kind of at the door, and then Tanner and Zyle off to the side. So Millard and Elbreth, what would you guys like to do? It's a good reaction.
Albert,
She's
Albert,
muted on
you're
here.
muted on Discord.
Yeah, I can't unmute you on Discord.
I like the hands.
Oh no,
Oh, the mouse die?
your mouse just died. Yeah.
Our mouse died. Can you unmute?
Inconvenient. Tell you what, while we wait on...
What's the hotkey for mute?
Is it Control C?
We can wait on that to be fixed, so fix it. We'll go ahead and shift to Zyle and Tanner and let them play that out.
Okay.
So you guys can step a little off to the side, if you will, to have a private conversation. But still, like, on the wraparound porch of the tavern, so it's not, like, in a dangerous territory, but you're within earshot.
Sneak, 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 sneak.
And Tanner's gonna lean in and whisper pretty low. Who exactly have you met since coming here?
You want the full list or short list?
How about people that have actually helped you?
First and foremost was Lutheran. We'd already
Don't know
met
that.
Henrik prior to coming here.
Henrik. All right.
He was also here.
And you said
He was the one that told us about the bones.
Lutheran?
Lutheran. He, I thought Zeke had killed him, but he's not in a great way. I took him to the church. To the other L guy.
To bury him. What?
Lucian.
It's Lucian, yes. I didn't have him in my notes.
Why would you
The
name
Father
the book
Lucian.
now?
He's stable, but
The book.
I almost said
he's
Lucifer.
wounded pretty bad.
Well, you may not realize this, but they've vouched for you. I can't help you now. I have my own dealings I must tend to, but if we meet again, you can count on me as one of you.
He kind of
Yeah.
nods. So I'm guessing you don't have any idea what's truly going on here then.
He kind of sighs and looks back towards the gate. My guess is that the seven are like a cat playing with its food.
There's a lot of
And
that going
unfortunately,
around.
I can't say is what their motives are, but if Strahd has you here, and the seven are harrying you, I'll do what I can to help, but it's not looking good.
Well, any and all help and information is appreciated at this point.
What do you want to know?
Anything that can help us how to get out of here, get back home.
Well, I didn't even know there was somewhere other than Barovia until recently. So, unfortunately, that's beyond my expertise. But if you need something dead, point it out. It's dead.
Zeke might would be a good start.
Yes, well. Don't point out one of the seven. How about that?
Look, lad, you're a fighter. I'm a soldier. I've had many a spunky lad under me before. Isn't in my command, and I always have an policy to try and just be honest with anyone, and I feel like you should know. Zeke is my brother. He's not from here.
That complicates things a bit, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. We have history, but he was not anything like what I see now when I saw him last.
What was he?
When I saw him last, he was nothing more than a silly boy that turned fledgling necromancer trying to undo the natural laws of the universe.
You must really hate Barovia if you think necromancers are that, but...
I don't even want to talk about it.
I wouldn't go around anywhere in Wallachia or Barovia saying that out loud, but you can take your own life in your own hands. I'm not sure what to tell you. I know of the Seven, obviously. I know their power. I've been under the thumb of their cruelty for my entire life. Like I said, I'll do what I can. But I do have my own vendetta against one of them, at least.
Understandable.
I'll
Do they
make you a
do
deal.
anything? Oh. Go ahead.
I'll make you a deal. I help you kill your brother. You help me kill Kenos.
I don't know if I want him
Among
dead.
other things. That's the only way you're going to stop him.
I'd be more than happy to beat some sense into him, but I don't know if I'm quite ready to commit to killing him.
He's one of the Seven. He's not going to stop. You're not going to be able to do anything.
But this Kenos fella,
He's gone.
he just kind of pointedly glosses over you saying that. This Kenos fella, I might can help you with that if we encounter him. What's he look like?
What does he look like?
Man, I hate this guy so much.
I don't even know what he looks like, but real jerk, that one.
I hate this guy so much that I forgot what he looks like, so I didn't have to think about him
Exactly.
anymore.
His,
I've never.
I was about to give you
never
some
actually.
details.
Okay, go ahead.
His skin is that he looks human or humanoid for the most part, so it doesn't appear to look like a creature or anything. His skin is that of a faint purple. His eyes are a deep, bright purple. He has some form of artistic tribal and or painting marks that go around his eyes that come both down and up around the eyes. One side kind of orangish fire red, and the other side a little more on the red part of fire red. He has several scars on his face. One clear line where like part of his eyebrow, it just has a line in between it where it just hasn't even grown back. And in Tanner's mind is both literally because of what he's seen him done and visibly is the representation of the lack of empathy, the lack of any form of compassion, just pure nothing.
He tells you all of that.
Oh, you are not going to repeat it?
Man, when he was talking about that, Stormer, like my first thought, especially when you said the marks around his eyes, is like, this dude is Marsh once he joined the Steel Ministry and became I forget what rank he was, but book nerd stuff.
And I'll give
Mistborn, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
here you go, Curse of Strahd.
yeah.
Curse of Strahd folk. You have it in Discord, and I'll send it to Stormer as well.
Secret tech.
Ooh.
He seems like a nice guy, like a chill guy.
So after the description, Tanner says he's responsible for the death of all of my friends. People I considered family. He needs to die. And if your brother has become one of them, he needs to die too.
Zyle almost imperceptibly flinches. So the 7, is there any rhyme or reason, or do they just like to spread wanton cruelty for the fun of it?
If they have a purpose, I don't know it.
And so I'll go
My
ahead and
entire
roll
life has
another
been-
sanity check.
Oh boy.
Go ahead, Stormer.
If they have a rhyme or reason, I don't know it. They seem to dole out cruelty and death wherever they go. And seems like the more that we try to help people, the more misery it brings us. The more evil and cruel you are, the more they leave you alone. It's just how the world works, I guess.
Your world's not too different from mine, then. That was a 12 on that check, by the way.
The ground stabilizes. But in
He
the
just kind of glances at that, but doesn't really make a show of it.
distance, and it's still pouring rain. So you guys are under a roof right now, so it's not raining on you, but you just in the pouring rain now, like kind of in the middle of the street, is you see Idris staring at you.
I hate to word it this way because it sounds insensitive, but he's almost used to that now.
Sure.
Just Idris popping up at the distance.
Mhm.
So he notes it, and in his mind acknowledges it. It's
Mhm.
like, it's you again, buddy. But doesn't really react to it in any way.
Am I able to see his eyes like flick over to see that?
Yes.
It's momentary, but he's not hiding it.
Right. So
Tanner just turns around.
turns around,
Turns
sees that
back.
there's nothing there.
Sorry, old soldier's habits.
Insight check.
Okay.
I guess would I need to roll deception on that?
Well, you're not being deceptive. Just let
Yeah.
Stormer roll an insight check to see how he perceives it.
22.
Okay.
Rolled an 18, have a +4.
Might be more uncomforting because you see pure truth in his words, that he's not being false in any regard.
That's disturbing.
Right.
Kind of glances back to you. Kind of gives you like a side eye.
Sorry, lad. Like, I thought I saw movement. My eyes aren't quite what they used to be, but some things get drilled into you.
No, that seemed like a lie.
Really did.
Yeah, with your roll. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
His eyes are actually just fine, but it's raining.
Well, how about you join your friends? I have a few things I need to take care of. You'll be seeing me again, though.
I like your gusto. Take care of yourself out there, and he'll hold out a hand.
Tanner will look at it, kind of, fair enough, and shakes his hand. And then
Yep.
turns around,
And-
walks down the street back towards the center of the city.
And he does that, and so Zal just having like a little bit of a brief memory of just the handshake and seeing there was a marking on Tanner's arm similar to the one that's on yours. Only not blue, more of like etched, like a tattoo marking.
As he's walking away and I notice it, I want to ask, it's like, well, if I'd known you had it, I would have asked. What is that? Lutheran put one on me.
Pretty sure I'm about to get a message from Matt telling me
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
Matt's like, crap.
And just like, just keep walking. That's what the message is. Just keep walking away. Just keep walking.
Just keep swimming.
Just keep
Just-
swimming. Just keep swimming. The ADHD's mascot.
Exactly.
Walking. Yeah. That's the mask.
No, Dory.
He looks at it and he kind of moves a piece of his clothing, like, to cover it back up. Means I can be trusted. That's all you need to know for now.
Fair enough. He kind of
He nods and then continues on his way.
And you see Tanner walk into the rain and slowly disappear from vision.
Is this within view of Elbereth and Millard that like he's walking through the rain?
You can
Like we see him-
if you look, you can see him walking away to the rain for sure.
I really don't like that fella.
Everyone here is.
he reminds me a lot of
You're not there.
me many
You're
years
not
ago.
there.
He walked
You guys
back
were
to you
somewhere
guys.
else, right?
Well, he walked back to you.
I was-
yes.
Well, like
Oh,
he
okay.
didn't
I mean,
like.
I was
we were
he was
close.
that
He
close
was just
to-
whispering.
Yeah,
Right,
if you were that close to like respond to
I was
Miller,
I
then
was trying to
feel like
set
you
up
were
a one-on-one
catching-
conversation with Elbereth.
Okay, yeah. So you can present it to where Zal doesn't hear Millard, where it's just Millard and Elbereth talking.
Everyone here is weird.
That's the truth. I meant when I said, that we need to be moving on from this place. You think about it, we didn't make any money. All we did was get in some trouble. Nadar was probably hurt. We've definitely run up a tab with the bar. I mean, all good reasons we just be moving on.
I agree, but not tonight. We all need our rest. I mean, saw how Mark was tonight.
Yeah, I did. And I know how I've been. And I know it's only happened when we got to Vallaki. So that's one of the reasons I think we should just be moving on. First thing in the morning. I think it's going to be hard to convince Zyle, though. He tends to stick around and help people. So I don't begrudge. I mean, he's helped all of us in our own ways over the years. But sometimes I do think it getting stuck in trouble. Sometimes the easiest way is to just get out and leave and not try to fix everything. Don't you think?
Yeah, I feel like somewhere between you two. He tends to stick around a little too long for everything. I feel like you might like to leave a little too quickly, but this isn't our home. And this place seems extra broken beyond what we're capable of, at least right now. We can't help anyone if we die.
Yeah. And I'm all for helping a town out when I need it. But I just feel like things here have gotten too big for us. The way you guys were talking before about the hordes of enemies and seeing that whole platoon of guards slaughtered. I mean, we're strong, each one of us in our own ways. But I feel like whatever's happening here, whatever forces are at play, it's just too big for us. I mean, look, it's raining. That's a bad sign. Might as well get out of here while we can.
You know rain's a good thing, right? Things makes things grow. It could also be a good sign that things are going to be washed and renewed.
Maybe. Every time we were at sea, though, my brother always said, small rains could turn into big rains. And even though this doesn't seem too bad now, it could get a whole lot worse. So, I've always seen them.
Sanity
I guess
check.
that's not true. Ha! 17. Take that, DM.
You hear the boards of the patio that you're standing on start to creak, just
Okay.
like wood does. Yet it triggers a memory of, in this moment, it made the exact sound of what the ship you and your brother would be on, much like the last one you were on together.
That's a lie. I didn't always think that way. It wasn't really till after I left my ship that I started seeing the rain and the worst of things. But that's the way it's always been after that. After my brother went out there. After he drowned. It's only gotten worse from there. Until I met you fellas. You know. You guys have been alright?
Until we got here.
Yeah, that too. You know, every calm needs a storm.
I feel like what we need to do is try to figure out a way to lift this shroud of weakness that is covering us since we got here. If we could do what we did before, we could take care of this town. We could help them real quick and do a lot of things really quickly. And that's what's most frustrating is we're back not being able to do all the things that we used to.
Yeah.
I'd say
Where do you think we should... Oh.
Sorry. By this point, I'd say Zal could have
Yeah.
gotten close enough to be within your shot.
Hey, Zyle, where do you think we should go after this? After Velocki.
I would love to say home, but I have no idea how to get there.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I was just talking to Elbereth about figuring out where we should go next, because obviously we haven't found anywhere around here that's going to help us get home.
I thought that we were supposed to go see Henrik, and then he came to us, but we still don't just have more questions.
Yeah, big help he was.
I think pinning him down for some answers is probably going to be our best bet.
Yeah, I
I
guess
hope
that's
he's
true.
still around.
Where was the last time we saw him?
Is that the
Well,
When you left
At
the
the
tavern the first
church?
time.
okay. That's what I thought.
Well, Millard would have seen him at the church, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the rest of
I mean,
you
last-
saw him at the tavern.
The last time I saw him, he was hanging out at the church, trying to figure things out. Then I left in a hurry, and I think he did too. So I don't know where he's gone.
Well, if he didn't come help us,
Right, because he wasn't back at the church when we were there. He didn't help us with Zeke.
no.
The other thing to
Uh,
think about too is we got our two mates in there, pointing to the tavern. You know, they go get home somehow. Feels rather rubbish to just leave him in this town.
Agreed.
But then again, on the other hand, they probably know more about this place than we do. So maybe they'll be alright.
And what do you think about the bones?
I don't want to be thinking about the bones anymore. I say leave them. I know you don't want to hear it, but I think we've done enough to this town, and they're probably better equipped to figure this out than we are. And as much as I don't like that fellow Tanner, he had a good point in that we kind of have done more damage than we've done good stuff here. Maybe if we leave them, they'll be able to figure things out as best as they could. I mean, they've
Yeah.
solved this problem for hundreds of years, and
If
we
they
just got
seem-
here.
If they seem that they're particularly interested in us, perhaps once we go, the fact that the bones aren't working won't be as big of a deal because they'll just follow us.
I mean, he's
Well, they
advice
could get
is high,
completely
right?
overrun and annihilated.
I mean, based on what you've seen from whatever folks is attacking this town, do you think we could rightly stop them in our position?
Absolutely not.
So, Sire, we
When do
wouldn't
you
even make a
ever see me
difference.
give up?
I'm just trying to speak reason, mate. We might as well try something that works.
Yeah, that dragon thing. I mean, we fought dragons before, but if that other figure the Reaper hadn't stopped him, I don't know.
What
Zal-
exactly did happen?
Zao and Millard, sanity save. Should be a
I'm
wisdom
better at
save.
sanity saves.
Oh.
Wisdom save. Equivalent.
Oh, it's a wisdom save?
Because I'm lucky.
Yeah.
Miles got that.
And for clarity, this is from her just saying the term the Reaper.
Aha!
We have to start saying you know who.
I got a 20. I hope I'm a
Let's
safe.
Let's use that inspiration.
We see a 3?
I also got a 20.
Okay, good.
Ah!
Millard and Zyle both, when she says that this time, for whatever reason, hear like a if a thread was being here and you kind of like feel it as part of you, you feel it tighten. It's like just a form of discomfort suddenly, and just like at just hearing the term.
So, I mean, remind me again what did happen at the front gate? Like, I came back and you guys were all a mess, but there was no hordes.
Well, another one showed up. And apparently, did Zyle piece together that it was the name that made that happen, or would he have been able to puzzle that out?
Hmm.
That it's a Voldemort situation?
I'll give it to you. You piece together the timing of it. There wouldn't be anything else that your attention would be drawn to. So you may not have like a hard conclusion, but that would be your guess for now. Is something about that caused you to feel uneasy?
So if he kind of pieces that out, he'll kind of look to Miller too. He's like, "Did you feel that? By the way, when she said his name."
Felt something, I guess.
Well, okay. He showed up, and everything on the battlefield bowed to him, and he obliterated that dragon in a single swipe.
But they didn't advance further. So there's obviously nothing here they want anymore, right?
Did we hear what he said about the innocent blood? I don't know what that means. Innocent blood is spilled twice. We have what we need. What that means going forward is your guess is as good as mine.
The guard and a lot of blood was spilled tonight.
And for clarification, he said twofold, not two people. Right.
Mm.
Makes a difference.
Right.
Yeah, they spilled it and then they folded it.
Right.
Folded blood.
So-
You gotta have your
Fold
bloodshed
in
be
the
nice and neat.
cheese.
Like a book.
Or maybe whoever the undead were originally innocent people, and then I don't know. But also remember, Omen said that she couldn't touch us. Only her wolves, and so I don't know it at all, but I just feel like it's just part of the game.
I mean, I know firsthand Zeke could touch me. So maybe they have their own rules. Each one of them.
I don't think Omen's playing by them either.
Either way, I think our best option is to leave. And I know that's hard for you. I know you don't want to leave. To leave these people to whatever fate awaits them. But I think if we're going to figure anything else out, it's not going to be here in Vallaki.
Where do you suggest we go next then?
I don't rightly know. But I guess our first step is probably to head back and see if that priest can help us find Henrik. He's the last person I saw with him. In the morning. Figure that out.
Not a bad idea.
That was our only heading that we had since we got here, was go to the forest and see Henrik. And yeah, kind of at a loss now.
So a couple is going to walk out of the tavern now, just some bystanders. There's a man and a woman actually have a small child with them. They do not seem inebriated in any way. They don't seem like they've been drinking. They're just happened to been there. Maybe they were staying or whatever, for whatever reason, you don't know, but they coming out of the tavern and just kind of looking at the weather, kind of just looking begrudgingly like they're about to have to run home in the downpour. And the small child's just a little girl, maybe 3 or 4 years old, just kind of looks over to you three and smiles, and then kind of quickly runs to Millard and wraps his legs up in a hug and just looks up at you. Oh no. Looks up
Don't
at you.
kick the child. Don't kick the child.
I think that was worse than a kick.
Just looks
I
up
don't
at
have a
you.
Much
dagger.
worse.
It's left in the door at the front of the gate.
She just looks up at you and kind of like, while looking at Millard, but trying to look at Elberth and Zyle at the same time, and as best as a child can. Just, thank you for saving us, mister. And she just lets go and just like walks back and grabs her parent's hand, and they proceed to run through the rain.
Place is getting worse by the day. I don't know if that was real or not. I'm gonna get some rest.
I saw it.
I was just thinking that part's the familiar part.
I'm gonna get some rest. Tomorrow, I think we should go see the priest. And then I think we should get out of here. Before any more weird stuff happens. I'm gonna walk inside. And hopefully to my room. Unless I get stabbed first.
You just walk in and the whole tavern, get him!
Yeah. As
the
you
guy!
go to walk off, Zyle's going to put a hand on your shoulder and said, I would like a quick word with you before you go in.
Elberth will go inside then.
Okay. So Elberth goes inside. Millard and Zyle are outside by themselves.
He levels his like most serious dad stare he can possibly give to you. When did you encounter it, son?
What are you referring to, Zyle? It's a big plane.
I know you know. We're seeing these visions. I saw some of your past. I don't know if it's the same thing, but it's the same type of thing.
Clear as I can recollect. Whatever you're referring to, or what I think you're referring to. I saw it the day my brother died. And I don't know exactly anything about it. But I know I saw it. And I know I saw something.
A little different than my experience. I stumbled across an artifact. I know I saw it. I know I saw something, but I don't know what it is.
It's
For
like
whatever this worth, whatever this is, at least in this, you're not alone. I want you to remember that.
thanks,
I will
mate.
happily lay down my life for any of you. Any of you. But I don't know if I can take losing another one of you. So I need you to stay level with me on this, lad, okay?
Look, I'm telling you all I know. It's weird. Whenever you try to talk about it, the words just don't come to your mouth. It's like you can remember it, but you keep forgetting it over and over.
Awful, isn't it?
Like a thread tearing at your mind. It's small, and it's always been there. But as you pull it, everything else seems to unravel around it. You don't know if what you thought was, or if what you thought might be.
And
I thought
kinda-
Elbereth would know more about it. She didn't seem to be able to pass it together. She's dealt with these kind of entities. Things beyond us. Things in stories and songs. In fact, it feels like a song whenever you try to think about it.
And for an added sense of symbolic poetry, in a sense, I envision as both of these gentlemen are having this conversation to each other, they both, in the distance, Zyle would see Idris standing in the rain, where Millard would see his brother standing in the rain. As they're just accepting that they're seeing this and just still describing what they've been going through.
So what Miller's describing is this very similar to Zyle's experience
I would say so.
with the whole thing. That's exactly what it's like. Like, I told you to level with me, so I'll level with you. I'm looking at Idris right now, out in the rain. I know he's not there, but it opens the wound all the same.
I see my brother. But he's different. He's not how I remember him. He's not as good as I remember him. Like a sheet torn, you know. It should be whole. It should be as it is, but it's not. There's just something off about him. Like, it's him, but I don't recognize him.
Sounds like I have the easier of the visions here.
There's something playing with us, and I don't like it.
Nor do I. I wish I could tell you what it is, but don't know. I wish I'd known before. I would have opened up to you about it sooner.
I didn't know until we came to Barovia. And it's just been itching ever since.
I wonder if it's related to Strahd in any way.
I guarantee it. I trusted him, you know? Real and truly. At least, I trusted his power. He seems like a strong fella. But he's kind of the same. Don't know everything about him.
It does
Either
fit
way.
neatly, doesn't it?
Yeah. Either way, I think we can trust each other and figure this out. We've made it through some real tough scrapes in the past. Even though I think Nadar's tried to kill us once or twice.
You can always count on that.
Anyway. I need some rest.
So do I. Don't be afraid to come to me about it. I understand. I'm gonna need someone to lean on too. I can't put it all on Ayla.
I don't rightly think she believes us totally yet.
I think so either. And it's hard to describe when someone hasn't felt it.
Okay.
He's gonna clap Millard on the shoulder. Go get some rest. I think we all need it.
Okay. I'm going to bed.
So
Fame.
you both enter the tavern. DM inspiration for you both. Good job.
Yeah.
That was glorious to behold. Okay, so you go into the tavern. Elbereth, you had already walked in before this, and just to ask what you wanted to do, so you would have noted that Ayla was nearby where Irina was, which Irina's talking to some individual. Eastmark is over here talking to some individual. Ayla's kind of have her head, at least from your perspective, asleep on the table.
trying to find a seat closer to the door and then try to keep an eye on everybody.
Sure.
Like glancing between, like looking at Ayla, but also like seeing, trying to stay close to the door in case there's like scuffling or something.
Sure. So just observing.
Mhm.
Okay. So your observations while Zyle and Millard were having their conversation is you've watched as Ismark and Irina go from person to person to person, and even though you can't distinctly hear every single word that's being said, you can take enough from basic observation that they are going to people that are distraught about something, and before they leave them, the people feel at ease and are either giving a comforting handshake to Ismark and Irina or flat out hugging them and then moving on to the next one. Including the family that left, and you didn't see what happened after it, but you did see a family that was talking to Ismark.
I think I was outside because when the family left.
Oh, were you still out there when that? Okay, so you would have missed that.
She was hugging Millard and then and glancing at Zyle and Elberth.
That's fine. I forgot when it was. Okay, so you wouldn't have noticed that, but you would notice that type of behavior to everybody. Would you still continue to observe or make any moves after seeing that enough times?
Still continues there because I'm just kind of staying near the door in case, like, they're out there and then all of a sudden they're being attacked. So I want to
Sure.
be there. But I'm also then trying to keep an eye on Ayla to be like, okay, I think she's just resting. So
Sure. So Ayla, enough time has passed as Millard and Zyle are having their conversation and Elberth is observing. Are you just remaining in your place as Irina talks, or do you make any form of move?
I'm just waiting for Irina to finish her conversations.
Okay. You would have sat there long enough where a conversation is finished and you would have had a brief moment in between to say something to her before she moves on to the next.
Okay. It seems to be going well here. What is with all the peoples?
They are scared.
Yeah, I am too.
Most people here are just people. They're not warriors. They don't fight. They don't have any form of magical properties like a lot of you do. Just people. So, when word carries that something it has not happened and 100 if not more years, it terrifies them.
Understandable. So I guess you've been talking with the peoples all night?
Yes. Offering whatever words of comfort we can to at least make them feel at ease. Even though deep down, I think Ismark and myself truly know there's no words we can say to them honestly. We don't truly know what's going to happen today or tomorrow, but we're here, you're here, and that has to mean something.
Yes. Well, none of us died at the gate, if that eases something.
It will mean something to the people.
Yeah. Well, the horde is gone.
It matters not how it was achieved, but the fact that in a moment of need, you people did choose to stand between seeming death and the people of Valaki. You stood your ground.
Yes, we did the best we could, but then it seemed like 2 of the 7. I say this in a very, very much whisper voice. 2 of the 7 were there.
And she just kind of holds her hand up. Shh. Matters not how it happened. All that matters, we are here, you are here, the rest of your company is here, and the people of Valaki are safe for now.
For now, yes. There's some other things I want to inform you of, but it can wait till morning and when there's not a crowd that wants to talk to you.
For sure. You look exhausted. Go get
Mhm.
rest. We'll talk in the morning.
Right. I'm going to wait here for Zyle and then I'll get some rest.
So she nods, gets up, and goes to find the next person that needs consoling.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're at a point where Elber's at the door, Zal and Millard walk in. Elber sees them walk in. Ayla, being alert now, can see, so the whole group is aware that you're all in the tavern. You kind of have a last-ditch thing before we wrap up.
I tilt my head, like I'm looking straight at Zyle and tilt my head as if I have a question.
He'll walk over there and present you your staff.
Dankeschön. You doing okay?
I'm making it. Been a strange day, to say the least. How about you?
It has been a strange couple of days, to say the least.
But you got me there.
Yeah. But we are all still alive. By some miracle.
I don't know how we keep doing it.
Me either. Oh, if I want to go home.
So do I.
Hmm.
Believe it or not, it's less dangerous there than here as he kind of looks around.
I mean, anything seems safer than Barovia, but I mean, Valaki seems as good a place as any to lay low, I guess. Though, sounds like the bones that are supposed to be protecting this place are not doing the best job anymore. So,
It troubles me to my core that that coincides with our arrival.
yeah. I mean, in a sense, coincidence, it may honestly have nothing to do with us, but that is not something that we can prove or disprove. So, all we can do is our best.
All we can do is our best.
Yeah.
I think that
Are
might
you
be my new motto.
You, still seeing things? You okay?
Yeah, it's he'll like pull out a chair and sit down. It's not that I don't want to describe it to you. You know I trust you, but I just don't really know how.
It's fine.
But
I
yeah,
know
it's
if you could voice it, you would. I know you don't hold much back from me in these days.
if I ever find the words, I'll explain it in detail.
Man, I may not need full detail, but I don't. From what I take it, I don't want to live your nightmare.
We've all got our demons, Ayla.
Oh, look,
I don't know, worse than yours. They're just different.
Sadly, one of yours is roaming around Barovia.
Yep, I think that's the one we all have in common right now, at least.
What did you like before? Before all the necromancy and all that.
He was a normal boy, really. He was a little strong-headed. I wonder where he learned that from. But he was kind of a goofy kid. Played out in the meadows a lot. Really
Does he
liked
like
flowers. Say what?
Does he like pie?
Well, yeah, he's a necromancer, not a monster.
Yeah. Just thinking about my own loss, I guess.
Mom actually used to always make a cinnamon apple pie
Mm.
for our birthdays.
Would she put a crust or a crumble on top? Very important.
It was a crust.
I like crumble better.
Zyle, as you say that in the distance, almost as if like seeing it in the room at the table, you see kind of like a translucent version of a younger you and a younger Zeke sitting at a table as your mom comes in, sets pie down, and you and Zeke are both laughing and smiling. And kind of, without even really realizing it, you're kind of just staring, and you even do a side little smirk, and Ayla will see like a little tear come down Zyle's face. But you don't know, Zyle, you don't even notice that it's happening.
You thinking about it?
Yeah. Some memories stick with you no matter how far back.
Yes.
And in true fashion of this place, I'm seeing it played out. As he kind of nods in the direction where he's seeing it.
I
You see-
turned to look.
Empty table.
No, I see nothing, but I believe that you've been seeing things, and yeah, like I mean, of course I've seen strange things here. One being my brother hanging. That was no fun.
And that was... That one, for some reason, didn't affect me, but...
Yeah. Well, that's good. So I know your mother passed. What, did you know your father?
Oh yeah, he was a military man like me. That's where I got my stern attitude and calm demeanor and great teaching skills from, as he kind of smirks at the last line.
Oh yes, great teaching skills. I start rubbing my shoulder.
As he straightens up his crooked nose, pretends to.
I told you plenty of times, I did not mean to break your nose.
I'm tell you plenty of times, I'm still not mad, I'm impressed. You know how many times I've been hit in the nose before that?
One too many.
Zeke. We got in a tussle over the last piece of pie one time, and he hit me in the nose twice.
No fun.
I still got the pie.
Ah. Well, that is what matters.
Maybe there was a darkness in him all along, and I was just too ignorant or too unwilling to see it.
Oh, come on, Zaire. Don't say that. Loss can do a lot of things to a mind. I mean, you know, when we met, I wasn't in the best place either. I had revenge in my eyes as well. And some days I still feel it coming on.
You fight it really well. And to this day, I still consider you my most resounding success.
Between you and the monk training, yes, it has helped. But
It was mostly me, though, let's be honest. As he kind of smirks again.
to be honest, has been harder these past couple of days. Have you seen the coins here?
Has he seen the coins? He hadn't handled any money, but
I don't remember if Zal specifically has seen the coin. I know Ayla has.
Okay. Alright. I take one of the coins I got and put it on the table. This is their coin. And then I pull my coin out of my pocket. And this is the one that was on my father.
he is very visibly and atypically taken aback.
And if it wasn't clear, they're identical coins.
Yeah. How?
I don't know. But somehow my life has been tied up in Barovia for a long time. I put the coins away. But as soon as I saw that, my heart raged and felt like I was so close again to finding out who killed my father. But I don't know where to go from this point to figure out who actually did it. Or why. There is no rhyme or reason as to why someone from this place would want to come and kill my father.
Somehow I feel that given the cruelty of this place, it's going to lead you to those answers no matter what.
That may be true. It does seem like Barovia gives answers that you want but don't want. But what do I do if I actually meet him? The one who took my father from me.
He kind of levels his eyes with yours. You trust in yourself and you do what you think you need to do.
Need
I
and want are
believe in that
two
you.
different things.
And you're going to have to learn to separate that.
Mm.
But I believe in that you. I've seen that you for years now.
Yeah.
Tanner was talking with me outside about Zeke, and he talked like he just needed to be put down like a rabid dog or something. I glossed it over because I don't want to face it, but I fear he might be right.
But
I
you
say
don't
that to
want
tell
that.
you that I'm going to have to put my money where my mouth is too, I'm afraid.
Do you think he can be saved? Even a little hope?
There's always hope.
Well,
You, in her asking you that question, you have like a memory and a response, and you like in the midst of your vision of what was at the table, you can see like kind of a drenched Idris sitting there and saying the line that he said to you last in the dream. The "Don't let the darkness consume you." It's kind of a reiteration of you saying there's always hope.
if there is hope for him, do what you can to save him. I know he's done a lot of bad, but I mean, we've had our own fair share of bad, and
Indeed. I fought many a battles. It depends on what side you ask whether or not I did good or bad.
Yes. I remember some of your stories. Well, I will leave your brother to you. And I will support you on whatever decision you make.
That means a lot. It truly does.
Alright, it's late and we've been
Yes.
moving all day.
Right now,
Let's
my
get some
decision
sleep.
is sleep.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I get up and start moving toward the rooms.
It's way past Zyle's bedtime. Wheel of Fortune ended hours ago.
This is Barovia. It's called Wheel of Torture here. You got to get it right. Like there's no fortune.
Fair enough.
Wheel of the Unfortunate.
Yeah,
Yeah, we love them.
it's actually a book by Lemony Snicket. Series of Unfortunate Events is actually just in Barovia. Who knew?
That makes so much more sense.
And with that, unless anyone else has something specific they want to do, we'll move on to the entire group. Exhausted, tired from a long day of battle in both the mental and the physical sense, and moving around, makes their way to their independent rooms to finally get some sense of rest, of a long needed rest over the past few hours, if not days. And they make it to their rooms and lie down for a rest. And that is where we'll end tonight's episode. With a rest.
And also lie down for a capital L, capital R long rest, I believe.
For a capital L long rest that you can go ahead and account for, but we will pick up next episode with what might have happened during those long rests.
Oh dear.
Okay, but
But-
once I press this button, it ain't going back.
But you get the
Are we
effect of long
sharing
rest.
rooms?
Okay.
I don't think he got a room for each of us. So are we sharing rooms?
Oh yeah.
There was 4 rooms total, I think, if I remember right, with
Okay.
2 per. So like,
Yes.
yeah, so sharing rooms.
Okay.
Okay, so that's gonna wrap things up for the actual episode portion, and we're gonna transition into the post-stream chat. So thanks everybody for sticking around so far. This is the part where we completely flip and we actually engage with chat now. I know we haven't during the episode, but that's just kind of par for the course. So Jay, I don't know if you're still here or can hear anything, but if you are, I have Dirk prepared and chilling so that you can hop out if you need to. Don't know if you can hear that, but just so I can say it, we have that ready. If not, we'll just leave you be and not mess anything up. Yeah, could. But I left in case he wanted to come back and say anything. I'll leave him be. Stormer, you may turn back on if you're still here, because there he is.
Oh, look, there he is.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
that was
never
smooth.
left.
Right.
I was
What a-
always here.
What a boss, just chilling in, just waiting. So great job, everybody, into one of, I said it before, but some of my favorite stuff of just getting to sit back and watch you guys roleplay, especially when you get really into the character. It's really good. And then getting to see Tanner, that was really good. Tanner, you can go ahead. You won't be able to use it for a while, but you can have a DM inspiration because you're in Zyle's stuff was really great as well. Zyle, you already got one, so you don't get 2.
Oh.
Can't double dip. But it was really good. Really good. So we're going to go around and do everybody's favorite moment of the night. And chat, if you
All the
have
faces.
your favorite moments, make sure to let us know in chat what your favorite moment of the night was, or highlight, or just moments that you enjoyed, whatever. It doesn't, if it's hard to pick one, just what did you like about tonight? What's something that stuck out to you? And we're going to roll and see who will go first. And that is
One
Miss
thing, right?
Bex.
Go ahead.
I don't like going first because I can immediately forget everything.
This is the way.
I'm gonna wait to the end and be like, oh yeah, that and that one too. Yep, I agree.
Okay, so nothing sticks out immediately.
Not yet. Generating words and thoughts are hard.
That's fine. We'll come back to you. That is Mr. Richard.
Oh man, probably finally getting to have the chat with Millard about our shared internal conflict there, and it got more emotional than I intended, and I liked how it kind of went that direction. That was awesome. It's always fun having a good like Zayla. I'll just start calling it Zayla.
Zayla conversations.
Yeah, the Zayla conversation. It's always good to have a Zayla heart to heart.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There's
Both of
always
them.
just a little bit of like, and I love the making up some of the past stuff, the humor on the fly thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But that always comes up in those conversations.
Not only humor on the fly, but like the sentimental moments on the fly too. Of like little nods to certain things about your past.
Guess I'm feeling sappy tonight.
It's good. It's all really, really, really great. A lot of exposition happening tonight, both in the story sense and your backstory sense. Like a lot of things kind of got presented tonight, which is really cool.
And I hate that Tanner's reveal happened in such an emotionally weighted episode, but
Right.
that
It was
really
fitting.
cool. And then learning about the mark from I almost called him Ephraim, Luthrian.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Learning a little bit more about what that might be, even though you don't know exact, but you have like a much better idea. Although Stormer knows.
I do.
He now knows the deets. All right. Anything else, Mr. Ricardo?
I think that's got it.
Okay. That would be Miss SJ.
One thing I didn't like was how active this child decided to be tonight. Anyone noticed all my little expressions of
Can't help with that
Just
one.
come on. So yeah. Yeah, just like what did I like? I liked the Zayla conversations. I like that Arena was able to come back in. Like I really hope that Ayla and her actually become friends more. And it was cool to have Tanner come in. I didn't know that was happening tonight or at all. So,
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was cool.
You know we can't do anything simple here. We got to go over the top.
Yeah, always over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Were all of you expecting for that to be Zeke or a member of the Seven?
I thought Zeke was showing back up.
I didn't think it was gonna be Zeke.
Instead, it's some crotchety guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone wears a hood, so I was just like,
Well, like I was honestly surprised that it was someone from Barovia, though.
Mm.
I thought you were gonna bring in someone like from the outside world.
That'd been interesting.
Yeah, but sorry, all my energy was just zapped. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. And then last but not least, making his first entrance into the TUI Season 2 today, Mr. Michael, a.k.a. Stormer, rocking it with the introduction of Tanner. So welcome, everybody. Mr. Stormer, which you already got to meet during the episode, but got to join us
Hello.
tonight, have some fun, some wonderful roleplay, which is very enjoyable. So for you, sir, first time, what was a highlight of the night for you?
So, a couple things. Probably the biggest thing was like, you see a figure on the top of the wall with a hood on. I'm like, oh, this is me, this is me, this is me, this is me. Just
Yep.
like the like in anticipation is like, is this me? It is. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm Batman.
But yeah, exactly. But honestly, like everything that Zyle was involved in was just golden. So like I love the interplay that he and I had. I love the interplay that him and Ayla had. Him and Miller, everything. Honestly, was just I felt like there was a lot of story being pushed forward and a lot of depth being added to all the characters with those interactions. So
For sure. Really.
On that note, I want to point out like the way you had Tanner change when you noticed the mark on Zyle's arm to like the standoffish, confrontational to, oh, okay, like you played that and I didn't know what was happening.
Well, neither
But
did
it was
Stormer until I
really
sent it to
cool.
him.
yeah,
'Cause I gave Stormer just enough to stand and walk comfortably, but also plenty in the dark so he can have some surprises for himself too. That
everybody loves surprises.
that of which being a surprise. So he did not know the arm thing was coming. For both your
To be
character
fair,
and
I
his.
didn't know I had. Yeah, I was about to say I didn't know I had a tattoo either up until this.
Yep.
So
Yep. Seemed very fitting for both of you.
It was really cool.
I like that. I like just Stormer summed it up really well. If I'm to give to before I do mine, so any other moment Stormer or just those particularly?
I mean, pretty much. Yeah, that's. I felt like that was just the entire episode. It was a really good episode. So.
Just Zyle talking to everybody one by one,
Exactly.
going down the line. It's like, all right, time
And
for a
of
heart to
course,
heart.
like Zyle was obviously like involved in everything, but I don't feel like it was just Richard. Like everyone did a really good job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, gotta just
Well, that's true.
rotate.
Zyle did talk to everyone. Now I feel, or everyone else. Now I feel a little left out that Zyle
Okay,
and
so
Stormer
we
did
gotta
not have a heart to heart.
We gotta work that one in, and then Nadar and Mark have one on the back burner too. I guess we gotta.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
You gotta make sure to make the
You gotta
full-
make your rounds. It was
So on next week's episode,
well, it was just
coffee
like
with Zyle.
that. It's a rarity
Adventures
episode
in Cards and Coffee.
from a rookie DM standpoint. It seems like a rare episode because by and large, I didn't have to direct you guys a whole lot. You kind of just did your own thing. The only time I really stepped in is when you asked questions, and that was about it. I didn't have to do a whole lot of pushing in any direction really. So it was just fun to see. So I guess next time I'll just like, okay, Zal, you're talking to Elbreth now. Here, go talk to everybody. Be inclusive.
Be inclusive.
Yeah.
Now,
But it-
I need a cute little emoji of Zyle sitting down at a table with a coffee cup with an empty chair in front of him with him gesturing to it.
Aw.
Have a seat. We're gonna have a
An animated emoji of him just beckoning.
Yep.
chat. And
Oh,
steam coming off the coffee.
If anybody knows somebody that can, well, I mean, I guess I know a few people, but someone that can draw really well, that the scene of Zyle just like talking to Ayla, but looking off and just having a memory of him and Zeke would be just beautiful.
Don't you do this to me.
It would be so nice.
So
There's-
touching.
It was good, like, because like so far there's only really been mostly tension when discussing Zeke, so that was a nice contrast to have, like, even if but a small moment before returning back to the darkness of everything. You just had like a little moment of light, of like, this wasn't always this way. And it was, I don't know, it was a nice lighthearted moment. But Zal had a lot of those tonight, and there was a lot of heartstrings getting pulled.
So next week we can dash them.
So it was really good. So Mr. Stormer was coming in tonight to kind of fill in a gap with us having both Josiah and Liam both out. It seemed like a very appropriate way to kind of fill him in, both with what's happening in the narrative sense and in the literal sense of having two players out. It seemed like a good fill in, and it just worked very conveniently because the two players that happened to be out were asleep at a tavern. So it worked itself out pretty conveniently. But yeah, it was a really, really solid episode. Looking forward to the next one. Again, if you missed the introduction announcements, I think the one shot that was originally scheduled for next week is probably going to get pushed back maybe a week or two, but we will have exact details of that in Discord or other places whenever we get some exacts. I don't want to tell you a date and just not have it etched in stone or anything yet, but most likely not next week. I think we'll continue with episode 34 next week, I think, is what we've reached. But more details with that in Discord later. So chat will have one last call. If anyone has any questions, go ahead as we wrap up tonight, because I know we've been going a little longer than normal because we didn't have the time constraint of a player dropping out, but we tried to stay fairly close. We just had a nice Elazar moment at the end there that I didn't want to interrupt, so I just let it keep going until it played itself out.
It was a nice moment.
Everybody drink.
I did.
Yep.
Is Bex drinking Skittles?
Wait, what was
It's my dice. I don't have anything.
You're gonna drink dice?
It's all I got.
It's better. I thought it was Tylenol. I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
Is it better?
No.
Oh, no, it's fine. Let's look,
Not like this.
let's look into this and try to figure out which one would be worse, swallowing many dice or many Tylenol. I feel like one is more you
It's-
can recover easier from.
Depends on the quantity of the latter.
If you swallow many dice, I'm pretty sure you are choking. If you swallow many Tylenol, you can get your stomach pumped.
I don't know. Stormer has some rubber dice that probably wouldn't be
I do. They bounce. They're
crazy
awesome.
difficult to ingest.
Please don't try this at home.
Calico,
Don't eat
We
dice.
are not endorsing this in any way, shape,
No.
form, or fashion.
don't listen to anything we say
All
ever.
things that are not meant to be swallowed.
Yeah, ever. Just ignore everything we say at all times. That's the best advice that we can possibly give any of you that are listening to
Don't
this,
take our advice.
or anything
Other
we say.
than to not take our advice.
Pretty much ever, including the statement of not taking our advice. Just ignore everything we say altogether. Okay, so we'll have a. I'm trying to think of a good.
Do it.
Actually, I think it would be fun to do this. So I don't want to put you on the spot, Stormer, but it might be fun since this is the one episode you're getting to be included a little bit to let you kind of play this one. Do you have a last round robin question you would like to ask the three players that are left here of something they experienced in this episode, of what they might be thinking as players, or the implications of something that happened, maybe just to see where their thoughts are?
I'm curious, for those of you who are at least somewhat familiar with the Curse of Strahd, what you think the tattoo and the blue marking mean.
Okay. We'll go in reverse order. So we'll start with, that would be
I know nothing.
SJ, I guess. Of just what you think it is. Like,
Well, I mean, like I'm not familiar with the original Curse of Strahd, so all of this is very much new realm to me. As to what the tattoo means, I mean, he already made the comment that that basically Luthrian was vouching for Zyle, and so I think there must be like some sort of kind of like the White Lotus going on here of just people in the background, like what's the right word?
The Illuminati.
No, like that they're just in a sense have an agreement, whether or not they're actually preparing to do anything about Strahd or anything. I'm not sure, but just that it's a network, I guess, so that way they can know who to trust in Barovia. So
Good answer. I like that. Miss Bex.
Yeah, I don't remember the part where Zyle got this in the first place, so and yeah, I
Do you want that answer?
Sure.
When he and Luthrian had the last words before he left, when the darkness was attacking, when Zyle went to do the handshake as like a goodbye to Luthrian, that's when he put it on Zyle's arm.
Oh, okay, actually, yeah, I do. Now I remember that moment. I didn't realize it was any sort of permanent markings. I thought it was just a flavor for like bless or something like that kind of deal. Like here, this is a buff for the fight. But yeah, I wouldn't have like in the question like, oh, for those familiar with Crystal Straw, like I wouldn't have thought that it was something from there because yeah, I can't. So
Yep.
No, it's just this is like you're in our club.
You get $5 off of all sandwiches.
yeah. Hey.
But only the bread.
Oh.
Only $5 off the bread. You pay double for toppings.
Exactly.
Good thing I don't like a lot of toppings on my
It's a
sandwich.
pretty horrible
Welcome to
deal.
the sub club.
All right, Mr. Ricardo. Last but not least, what about you?
So I think SJ and Bex are both right on the money, and I'm gonna go a step further and say since Zyles is glowing at the moment, that it's also a variant of the Death Ward spell.
All right,
That's
See
my
you-
guess.
I see you over there. All right,
It's wrong, but
And-
he sees you.
And then that will eventually wear off, and it will just be the tattoo like Tanner had. Wear off or get used. That's
It's
my
to show-
out there prediction.
It's
So
to
your
show who the new
prediction is that
initiates are, so that you
Tanner
can
has
raise
been killed essentially before.
There is that
Oh.
implication.
interesting theory.
I think
like all those.
everyone
answers.
in Barovia has been killed and reborn before.
It's potential for
I've
that.
seen reincarnation.
And we've already
And-
seen it once. It wasn't a pure incarnation though, because like the kid already existed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got to see the Namir situation.
Relocation. Spiritual relocation.
And it makes me wonder what happened to the kid then.
They fused together.
Atara.
A fusion.
Fusion? Huh.
Turns into fat. Ms. Bex, one last call for you. Did you have anything that kind of you thought of during everyone else's answers that maybe like a highlight of the night for you?
Yeah, like all of the above. I liked
Everything.
Vile connecting to, especially like having the things in common with like Tanner and Miller. Like they each had something of like, oh hey, let's talk about this thing. Although I don't. Yeah, I think even more so like with Millard, right? Because they knew each other a while, and so like there's this new level. So that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, good
Still
answer.
trying to like I feel like sometimes like it's nice to like have some more time to like talk because I feel like I'm still trying to figure out how to like demonstrate and explore the whole like I'm trying to be light and hope, but also I am terrified and confused and
Right.
maybe I want to give up.
Right. Hard thing to do.
And then I think, and I don't know if I expressed it well, but I was like, I feel like Elbereth felt, like I said, like a bit of home when that little girl was hugging Millard, because I feel like that's probably something that they encountered,
Mhm.
like when they went and saved towns or whatever. Like, you know, you have like the villagers be like, oh, just like we were having that party in the prologue. So
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Right. I think it's a very good point. It's a good answer. And then to give a compliment to Stormer as well, I really liked the interplay specifically that he did with Zal when kind of setting a good tone for not only fear but concern of certain aspects of the Seven, which you guys have already had somewhat in passing via experiences, but this was a native of Barovia who was very familiar, or more so familiar than any of the other people you've come across with these dealings, and he was kind of setting down an instinctual reaction of being unsettled of the interactions that you have had. And I thought it was really good of you getting to experience that naturally without in a sense, without like a DM NPC kind of feeding you exposition. You get to like run into it naturally with interplay of other players, which is really cool. Yeah, it was good. And then you got a little bit of a lead on. You got another name of the Seven, which is cool. Oh, who did we lose?
Richard.
His power
Power went out.
might have gone out, but if it did, it usually wouldn't drop out that quick. But I'll move Dirk in here. That way it can bounce around. Nobody's names are in the right place, but it's fine.
That's
So-
okay.
We need to wrap
I
up
have
anyways.
no name.
Right, we need to wrap up anyways. So, yeah, all those moments, great. And now he's back, and now everything's. Oh no! Here, I'll move Millard out. There.
Sorry.
Still know it's in the right place, but it's fine. Okay. So I think this is good a place. So everything was wonderful tonight. Good job to everybody. Really enjoyed it. Thank you, Stormer, so much for hopping around. Big applause for Mr. Stormer for coming in and rocking
It
his
was,
new character.
Great to finally get to play with you.
Yeah. And we will we'll see more of him soon to tease you guys a little bit, because we do have a pregnant lady amongst us. So whenever it becomes time for her to step aside so she can birth a child, we will have Mr. Stormer come in and fill the void.
I thought that was a secret.
No,
Okay.
it was
I mean,
before
not
tonight.
anymore.
Yeah, it was before tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, we wanted to have a reason for what's happening and something to look forward to. So
Right.
yeah, so look forward to getting
Besides new
to.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's kind of a weak excuse to not play, but
I mean, Matt's
whoa.
Stupid's the one who planned on kicking me out in May when I'm not due till the end of July. So,
stand by it.
oh, wow.
well,
I stand-
considering how much I was being kicked tonight.
I stand by it. Okay, so I don't want to speak for everybody, but at least for myself, I look very much forward to seeing more of Stormer and more of Tanner specifically, and how he's going to fit into the world and the dynamic of the group and everything that goes
AKA
along.
Less of SJ. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, well, I thought that was very clear. Like, yeah, just get SJ out of the way.
No, we don't want
No.
any more sass.
No,
Well,
I-
we still have Mark,
See, that's the
so-
thing is, I want more of Tanner and Ayla because I feel like their sass is gonna really start.
Well, hers
Like, just-
was just like really annoyed tonight because she's just like, I want to go to bed. And
Yeah.
then we had to run over here, and now it's raining, and now you're here and you're yelling at us, and I just want to go to bed.
I didn't sign up for all this.
right.
Exactly.
Well, guys, we've gone on long enough. We're actually getting close to the 3-hour mark, believe it or not. This is a long one for us tonight, but it was a good one, and much appreciated for all you crazy people that were being generous early of the stream and donating subs, and both. I think some people subbed and some people gifted
we got
subs.
our first boost train.
First boost train, didn't even know that was a thing until now, but now the more you know.
Our
Learn
train
something.
was boosted.
So much appreciated to all of you. You're all wonderful. You're crazy, but you're wonderful. And we do appreciate every last one of you. But we've been going on for a pretty good while, so I think we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. So that's been episode 33. It's been wonderful. Looking forward to next week as we, I believe, probably dive further into episode 34, but we'll give you more details in the Discord throughout the week of what we plan to do with that. But until next week, everybody is still here. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Peace.
See you next time.